Yeah. Get the ball.
The long ball into the box. Nick is there. Can he put it in? Goal, South Florida! It's a shot. South Florida goal! Shot for Brian. It's in the goal! Crossing the box. Thiago scores on a header! About 25 yards out. Unbelievable! Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Mad About Soccer, where today we bring you South Florida Football Academy versus Weston FC here in Weston, Florida. This is sure to be a heck of a matchup today, as both Weston and South Florida, top premier clubs in South Florida, and we'll see what they can bring us as far as entertainment is concerned. U16 team just finishing up. Unfortunately, it ended in a loss, 3-1, to the Weston team. And the U15 team is about to take them on later today. Earlier, let's say last season, I would say, they ended their last tie 1-1 after losing, I believe, 3-1 in a previous matchup at the beginning of last season. So we're really excited today to see if the boys can take them on and produce a better result than the last two, hopefully coming away with a win. And we'll see if they can also excel off of their last game against Kendall Rush, where they managed to eke out a win there 2-0 against a very large Kendall Rush team. Kendall Rush, also one of the better teams in the MLS NEXT last year, U15. And that was a big win for Coach Jordan, who is going to be the sole coach today. He was sharing responsibilities with Director Eichmann at the Kendall game, but he will be the sole coach today here in Weston. Interestingly enough, Coach Jordan also is coaching our NAL team, National Academy League, and had two games this weekend, one in Tampa, one in Orlando, and drove directly here from Orlando to be coaching the boys here today. So big props out to Coach Jordan, as he has taken on more than his fair share of work this season in the absence of Coach Greg. Director Eichmann not here with us today, but there are several other coaches from South Florida Football Academy to assist in today's efforts. Number of players joining us today due to some injuries. Brandon sustained an injury against Kendall Rush. We will have Thiago being brought up from the NAL team, as well as Matthew, number 40, being brought up from the NAL team. And joining us today is Mora from our U14 team, who was on the team last year. He is a 2010 player, and he is being called up today to participate in today's events. So here's the lineup, the starting lineup for today's match. You can see Coach Jordan there. Mora is going to start up top with Joaquin, and then you have Brian, Nick, Julian, and Gavin in the midfield, as well as Jaden out left, John and Idan taking up those center back positions, and Matthew out on the right, number 5. Colton, our keeper of the week, making some great saves in that Kendall game, is going to be in the box, managing this game from the back. And let's hope he comes up with some great saves today, which I think he will be called upon to do against this tough Weston team. With me, as always, is Jeffrey Smythe. Jeffrey, what do you think of today's lineup and Coach James?
Well, I think he's going to have his hands full today. As you mentioned before, he's already coached 2 games this week, and he had to drive here directly from Orlando in order to get here on time. Man, I don't want to be in his shoes today, as he is going to have a tremendous amount of pressure playing against this tough team, Weston. Now, he's called up some reserves to help bolster the ranks, as you might say, and I think he's made the right call with several of these boys, as they are fit and ready for a fight. So I think that we're going to see a lot from them. I'm very curious to see how Mora does up front. He's not typically played up front, at least that's not where he played last year. But let's take a look and see how he does. I'm really excited for this.
Well, I am as well, and it's going to be a little difficult, I'm being told here from our camera crew today, because of the sun shining directly into the lens of the camera. But we'll hopefully get you as many shots as we can. As we can see Coach Juan there helping the boys get started before today's game. And you can see also Coach Klitsch there from the U16 team. He's there on hand to assist as well, as this is just as big of a game as if you were going to enter Miami or if you were going to Orlando City. For many years, Weston was the only game in town. Before there was MLS NEXT, before there was even organized soccer, there was Weston FC, and they were the ones that set the standard for soccer in the South Florida region. So we'll see how South Florida does today. But before we do, let's take a quick word from our sponsor and see how we're going to do afterwards.
Are you looking to stand out on the field more than just with your skill, but also with how you look? Then take a look at Techie Apparel at Etsy.com. Techie Apparel will provide you with unique and one-of-a-kind designs for your feet, for your kicks, and for your scores will really stand out, even if they're not that good. But man, will you look sharp in these designs. So head on over to Techie Apparel and take a look, and you can tell them that Jeffrey sent you, and you won't be disappointed. Techie Apparel at Etsy.com.
All right, well, we're just about set for kickoff here at Weston Regional Park. South Florida is going to start with the ball. More on the ball right now. Passes it back. John's going to receive. He's going to give it over to Matthew. Matthew under direct pressure. Passes back to John. John passing it back to Colton. Colton a little bit of a jam here, able to escape. Gets the ball off to Jaden now on the left side. Jaden with some daylight, making a run down the left sideline. And it stays in bounds. Weston now in possession, moving the ball down the right side. Cross into the box. Julian there to block. And Weston coming out with all guns blazing here so far. Full press and winning the ball quickly, and now they will have their first throw into the game. Well, we kind of expected this from Weston, this upfield pressure, looking to dominate, and we'll see if it holds true through the whole of the game. As Jaden with the long throw in up the side of the field, can't find a blue shirt. Weston now back in possession, but they give it over to Julian. There's a clear push, no call. And now Julian fighting for the ball again. Weston takes a pop shot. Matthew able to distribute that back out into the middle of the field. And Nick is on the run. Nick with yards of daylight. Oh! Miscue of a slide tackle there from Weston. Nick sees somebody in the box. He crosses it. Finds Joaquin's foot, but he was in an awkward position. And now Weston back in possession and trying to move this ball down the field. Weston may be a little bit more cautious with their press, as South Florida is able to escape quite easily, as Nick comes with the interception there, gets it off to Mora. Mora with a little bit of a misstep gives it back to Weston. Weston now trying to slow down the pace as they give it off to their left winger. Passes it over to the middle. Taken up by the captain, Edon. Edon passing the ball into the box, finds Mora's foot. Mora now in possession, no real pressure, crosses it over to the other side, finds Jaden. Jaden under pressure, loses the ball to Weston. Weston now placing the ball down the left side of the field. Edon there to grab it. He tries to play it to Jaden, but it's going to be another throw.
Well, I don't want to say it too soon, but I hope we don't have a home favored referee. As you look at that clear push. He just pushed Julian out of the way. And then look at this, how Nicky puts this kid on skates. Oh, he went sliding. He may still be sliding into the next field. Oh, that was lovely.
Well, it might be a little too early to say that the referees aren't calling these for us. But yeah, it was a direct push.
Well, I said I hope. I hope that it's not a home favored referee.
Well, then I stand corrected, as we're in a little bit of trouble here in our own box. Having to find somebody to clear this ball to, as Weston, now the ball top of the box shot, and it's a little dribbler to Colton thankfully no threat to the goal as South Florida find themselves in a little bit of trouble here with this high press of Weston. Colton rolling this one out to Adon playing it long and into space, but finds a Weston foot. Brian trying to win it back. Now Jaden able to pop it up. It looks like he's going to win a throw.
Yeah, a wee bit of trouble here at the beginning. Not looking too good, but thankfully a lot of players got there. I think they got a piece of that one. And Colton's sure hands were able to corral it into possession.
All right, Jaden with the throw. Long throw down the left sideline, headed back by Weston. Weston number 20 trying to play the give and go. Weston maintain possession and play it back. Weston now under attack by South Florida. Matthew's going to be able to win this ball. Plays it back to the keeper. John there trying to play it back over to Matthew. And John back in possession again. Plays it long down the field. Finds Mora. Mora looking for some space. Wins the throw. Matthew on the throw. Throws it up to Joaquin, who heads it forward. Trying to get it to Nick. Weston now back in possession. Playing back to their keeper. Interestingly enough, some of you may recognize the Weston keeper. That's going to be Brandon. Brandon played for South Florida Football Academy last season. Made the switch over to Weston. Is now the starting MLS NEXT keeper for Weston. He was the starting keeper for South Florida, but obviously opportunity came with Weston. He had to take it. We have no ill will towards Brandon. Many great games he's played between the sticks for our team, and we wish him well as he takes us on here today. And now Weston on a break. They're in the box. It's going to be a shot. Oh, and it's just wide.
Well, they might be lucky here because they're not playing physical enough right now. Nobody's making contact with this player, and he just gets a free shot. We're lucky that it went wide of the goal.
Well, their feet are starting to warm up here for Weston, and that's not a good sign as they've taken now a couple of shots at the South Florida goal. Thankfully, no threat of scores as of yet, but it's not very encouraging as this ball is put out in front. Brandon's going to hold everybody up here, and he's going to play it out to his right side. South Florida chasing the ball a little bit. Did have some good movement early on. Again, we're only about 10 minutes into this game, so nothing really to worry about. Teams are still settling in as Gavin switches over here and deflects the ball out for a Weston throw. Long ball. Matthew's going to try to get a foot to it. Can't quite win it. Weston maintains possession, switching the side of the field. Weston playing towards the middle now. Jaden there to deflect that pass. Joaquin trying to move it over to Mora. Can't get it done. Mora now trying to win the ball back. And Weston maintaining possession and playing the ball back. Weston still being patient on the ball, not trying to rush anything. Although they may have made an error there. Nick and Brian sort of collide. But nothing serious, and Weston are going to give the ball away for a throw. Matthew on the throw on the right side. Plays it back to John. John chesting it forward. Looking for a pass. Now having to dribble back and play back to the keeper. Colton now with a little bit of time. He plays it long and over to the left side, intercepted by Weston. This could be trouble. Weston plays this one into the box. A hacked shot. He basically hacked at it, and it took a deflection for a corner. And Gavin heads this one forward. Joaquin is fighting to try to get another shot. This one over the bar. No danger to the goal.
South Florida has to be more critical with their passing. They have to find the feet of the other players. If not, Colton's going to be picking this ball up out of their own net, and there you go. There's another missed pass. They can't be doing this in their own half of the field.
South Florida does look a bit shaky here as Mora fighting to win this ball and is going to be called for the foul. We'll take another look.
Well, as our viewers might remember, Mora is what you call a little handsy when he gets close to a player. He just likes to let them know that he's there and that there's some contact. As he goes for this player, he kind of trips him. But 20 should also be getting a caution because he clearly tries to trip him as he goes by. But still, That's two plays that I've seen number 20 commit that are a little questionable.
Well, Weston elects to take the free kick short here and then playing it into the box. Matthew chesting this one down and forward. Nick on the run. He's trying to get there. It's going to fall to a Weston player. Gives it away in the midfield to Brian. Brian now with a little bit of time and space. He finds Joaquin. Joaquin turning on the ball to face the goal. He gets it off to Nick. Nick with a fancy flick back to Gavin. Gavin's going to be able to get there. And he looks like he's going to win a throw, and he does. Matthew now on the throw. Plays it into Gavin. Gavin looking for someone, can't find it. Weston able to keep it in play. And they're going to kick it out for another throw. Matthew taking it quickly, playing it to Brian. Brian looking for Jaden, can't find him. And now Weston in control and moving the ball up the field. South Florida defenders rushing to get back. Julian trying to keep pace, and Don comes over and gets rid of that ball.
Well, this is why he is the captain, because he's willing to put his body on the line to clear the ball. He takes the hit, and he clears the danger.
Well, that he did, and now Weston has a throw. Jane able to get a foot to it, and we'll do it again. Weston looking for the sideline. Mora able to flick this one out and up out of the area. Joaquin now able to get the pass off to Nick. Nick trying to return the ball. Still able to keep possession. Now looking to the other side of the field. Nick cutting it inside. Playing the ball up the field. Was looking for Joaquin. Only found a Weston jersey though. Weston in possession of the ball in the middle of the field. Weston playing over to the left. And they're finding feet pretty easily here as Brian with a sliding tackle almost got it. And now Weston playing over to the right side, inching ever so closer to our goal. This ball put into the box, Colton there to grab it. No problem whatsoever, and this one's rolled out to Matthew. Matthew trying to get the ball to Gavin, missed him. Weston now with the ball. Nice little flick into the box. This could be a goal. Colton there to retrieve as Don was able to cause enough of a disturbance there to prevent a clear shot on goal. I think he's actually encouraging the players to move forward as Colton rolls this one to Edon. It takes a deflection off of a Weston player, lands to Julian. Julian to Gavin. Gavin trying to play it up, hits a Weston player in the chest. South Florida just not finding any luck with these passes as Weston players appear to be taking up every lane in which to pass through. Now Matthew and Gavin on the Weston player here. Another cross into the box. John there to deflect. Julian trying to measure the ball. Still on the ball. Julian able to clear and up the field. Weston will still maintain possession, playing this one back to the keeper. And I don't know, Jeffrey, this is not looking good so far.
No, it's not looking good right now. I'm really hoping that South Florida is going to come into their own here once Weston's tired themselves out a little bit with the press, and maybe they'll find some more opportunities. But right now, no, it is not looking good for the boys in blue.
All right, we'll pass into the middle. Edon there to pick it up. He settles it and passes it off to Julian. Julian with two players able to get it off to Gavin. Gavin up to Nick, who is a good position around the Weston player. And we have our first shot, but it's going to be well wide of the goal. Brandon making a dive there, but I think that's more out of him just liking to dive. That ball was well wide of the goal. But at least a promising effort from South Florida, who have not had any shots towards the goal. And here comes Weston. And it's going to be a throw here for South Florida. Jaden looking up the field, plays it long. Plenty of gray jerseys there. Weston again through the middle of the field. Don's there to intercept that. Can't find a blue jersey. And this is going to be trouble. Shot! Way over the goal.
I'm trying to figure out who's more mad here. Is it going to be Coach Jordan with the bad passing here by South Florida, or is it going to be the Weston coach? Because this surely should have been 1-0 Weston on this shot. You can't miss those, but you also kind of give the ball away there. We got to be smarter, lads.
Well, you know the old saying, you keep playing with fire, you're going to get burned. And South Florida has basically got all the matches and a pack of gasoline that they're playing with right now, as Weston maintains possession again here in the middle of the field. Plenty of blue shirts around, but nobody able to get to the ball except for Julian. And John plays this one up to Joaquin. Joaquin looking for the open player, finds Gavin. Gavin up to Brian. Brian now with some room here, plays the ball into the front for Nick. Nick able to challenge for the ball. He's now into the box. Can he get there? Oh, and it looks like it's going to be a foul, but no, they win a corner.
Look at the fight here from Nick. Not willing to give up on the ball here. He keeps on charging through. And, man, this is so close. He does use his body, the Western player. And we're lucky to have won a corner there, because otherwise I don't think that's our ball.
All right, well, Nick and Mora here on the corner. Nick looking to receive it short and does. Mora now on the overlap. He gets the ball. He's got the top of the box. He's got that left foot. He's taking a shot. It's off the post, and it's going to be out. Man, he wishes he could get that one back.
Oh, so close, but so far away. Look at this strike from the left footer as this one goes right to the corner. Oh, I think Brandon may have had it covered, but it's still a lovely strike. Keep hitting it, lad.
All right, well, Brandon will put this ball in the box, and he's going to kick it short. Weston now trying to move this ball up the right side. Long ball down the field. Don there to cover. And it's going to be a throw for Weston. Jaden wins the ball here. Don trying to pass it back through. Can't find anybody. Able to win it again. Matthew there to head it away, but not very far. And Weston with another shot. Dribbler along the ground. Colton's going to cover up and stay there for a minute just so that they can collect themselves. So a little bit of a back and forth game now, which is pretty enjoyable as Colton rolls this ball out to Gavin. Gavin met by 3 gray shirts, able to get through, and then plays it over to Jaden, who's got yards of space. And he's going to take off and use all of it as he makes a long trot down the left sideline, able to cut it back, looking for the cross, and it looks like they want another corner. Nick clearing Mora out. Looks like South Florida is going to play this one into the box. But we're waiting on the referee to take care of some business inside the box. Number 20 appears to be the culprit again, as the referee says play on. And played short. Mora now on the ball.
Oh, that's a foul.
And it's a foul, and it's a penalty.
Oh, yes.
South Florida awarded a penalty here in the 20th minute of this game. Oh, man.
Well, let's take another look here. It definitely looked like a foul. Oh, that's right on the line. I think this is going to be a penalty. I would have to call that the referee made the right call there. Good job by Mora taking it to the line and dribbling in. And now we see this intimidation tactic here from Brandon on Mora. Remember, these two used to be teammates. These two used to practice every day against each other. Who better to know where he's going to shoot this ball than Brandon? Let's take a look.
All right, well, Mora on the ball. Referee signals it's time to go. Which way will he pick? And it's a goal! 1-0 South Florida. Penalty converted. Mora, the call-up, the player from last year who is now officially on the 2010 team, has got called up today to play against Weston, and he buries his penalty. No fear in him.
No, there's no fear, and you can see in his eyes, Brandon's looking for him to give it away, but he doesn't, and he puts it into the left corner, and Brandon guessed right, but he guessed wrong, and there's Mora with that magical left foot, and he puts it in for 1-0 South Florida.
Well, Weston has taken the kickoff, and it appears to be business as usual for Weston, looking for possession and willing to play it back. No panic, no reason to. We're still early on here. But who would have guessed South Florida jumping out ahead after as many mistakes as they made in that first 20 minutes? You would think that the scoreline would definitely be 1-0 Weston, maybe even 2-0. But South Florida able to settle as they intercept this ball, Edon, and he plays it up to Nick, who Nick is now on the sprint trying to get this ball. Brandon plays it out of his box. And it lands in the middle of the field again for Edon. Don playing a little bit more conservatively this time, trying to get it to Gavin. Can't do it. Matthew there to defend. And Weston now just opting to keep possession for right now. But again, who would have guessed it? Because Weston came out here with all the fire, with all the guts, with all the glory, looking to score quickly, looking to put pressure on South Florida, causing mistakes, causing multiple missed passes by South Florida. They could have capitalized early. They didn't. And now they're behind chasing the game. So here's Weston. Bad pass. Got it to Mora. Mora to Julian. Julian back to John. John now swinging out to the left side. To the right side. And opts to play it long because he sees Nick wide open. Nick trying to play the ball over his head to Joaquin. Joaquin on the run. Brandon. Oh, Brandon heads it away. He takes a collision with the goalie. Mora tried to take a shot. The ball is still in. Now it's out of bounds. Oh, doctor.
Well, this is never good. This was a very heads-up play from Brandon to head that ball away out of his area, but he pays the price as he runs into his centre-back. Let's hope he's all right.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Brandon being a part of the South Florida family last year, I called many games where Brandon was between the sticks, and I am hopeful that he is going to be all right. They are asking for the trainer to come on the field right now, but looking at this as more of a leg injury, thankfully, than a head injury. And there will be a substitution. But our hopes and our prayers go out to Brandon that it is a short-lived injury, and then he'll be back on the field in no time. But with that said, the new keeper is in the box, and South Florida back in the attack here as Jaden looks to throw this ball in, and he's going to throw it long and into the box. Falls for Nicky. Nicky playing it across, was looking for Matthew. Matthew fighting off a defender here. Oh, he loses the ball. Weston now looking to go on the attack. Matthew trying to track the ball down. Can't do it. Weston with numbers now going forward. Opts to take a long shot. And it's over the bar. Thankfully for South Florida, they were on their heels there. John under pressure passes it to Gavin. Gavin to Matthew. Matthew trying to get it to Gavin, but can't. Wins a throw instead. Matthew throwing the ball long. Up the field finds Brian. Brian now able to try to dribble two defenders. No call for a foul there. Nicky maintains possession. And Weston's going to keep this one in bounds. Weston playing it back to the new keeper. Weston cycling it around. Gavin applying the pressure now. And it's going to be out for a Weston throw.
Well, I want to take another look at this with Brian on the ball here. He controls the ball. I think that might be a foul there, but this, he straight up just knocks him to the ground. And I don't know if the referee's playing advantage there, but I thought that was clearly a free kick.
All right, again, we always remind our viewers that as Matthew plays this ball into Nick trying to find Joaquin, can't do it. We just want to remind our viewers once again that MLS NEXT is not a VAR type of league. We have the advantage of rewinding these plays and seeing them again and again, where the referees have to make an on-field decision at that moment, so it is not an easy task. And while we have that benefit, we surely do not hold it against the referees, as Nick brings down this long ball, plays it out into the space into the right side, but showed a little too much of it to the Weston defender, who controls it and plays it back to his keeper. Weston keeper under pressure, gets it off. Weston trying to play out of some trouble here as Joaquin now wins the ball in the box. Going to get a shot off. And South Florida was looking for some type of call there. I think they were looking for a handball. I don't think they were going to get it. As Matthew gets this ball, he plays it over to Gavin. And then this is going to be a throw for South Florida. Matthew looking for a player. Finds Joaquin. Weston jerseys envelop him. Still in possession. Matthew plays it off of a Weston player. It goes down the line for John. John playing it back to Colton. Colton having to come out of his box to retrieve this. Plays it back over to John. John over to Julian. Julian through the middle of the field to Gavin. Gavin with a nice touch gets it off to Brian. This is some good play from South Florida, and we do get the foul call.
Well, I know you were having trouble there getting it off your tongue, so I figured I would just say it out loud. Here we go again. Brian with a nice dribble. And there they go, just trying to take it away from him. They're tripping him all over the field. You know, Brian takes the most abuse on this team next to Julian, I think. And it's only because they are good dribblers with the ball. And these Western players can't handle them.
Well, Moore is fighting for the ball over there. It's going to be looks like a foul called on, yeah, a little bit on Moore there. As we mentioned before, Moore likes to get a little hands-on in his work. And it's going to be a Weston free kick here. Weston opting to play it short and into the back of their field, looking to switch it around. Almost in slow motion right now the game is being played. It's kind of odd. It's not very hot here, but like we said, that sun is beating down on this field as it's setting. So it is generating some heat to this AstroTurf. Not many teams in the MLS Next League have natural surfaces in order to play on. South Florida being one of the few that does. Majority of these teams all play on artificial surfaces, which can get exceptionally hot in the summer. As Moore does a great job there avoiding a tackle, but unfortunately Weston ends up winning the ball in the end. Bad pass to Idan. Idan gets it up to Joaquin. Joaquin now trying to find the dribble. He's through, gets into the box, but that Weston defender is so good. He manages to get it off his foot. Now Matthew in a chase to win the ball back. And they're going to play it up to the keeper, and Colton wisely dives on the ball as Idan gets a little shove from the number 5 of Weston. Colton, no rush. Why would you be? He got the lead. Rolling it out to Idan. Idan, oh no, miscue there. This could be trouble. Oh, get it out. All right, it is out of bounds. Oh, man.
Well, you mentioned playing with fire earlier, and they all but had a tiki torch in their hand, waving it in front of a stack of dry wood. Now, this was big trouble. Colton able to get out there, make himself big, and it takes a deflection off of him, and it's out for a corner. But, oh, did they get lucky on that one?
Weston on the corner. Colton with a big punch out of the box. Mora able to clear it. And Weston with the throw.
Well, this is a great job from the keeper. Comes out, he yells out that it's his, and he blasts it out of the box and towards Mora, who is able to clear it. Good job by the keeper and the defenders of South Florida.
Well, Weston still with the ball and still trying to level this game. Oh, there's a high foot. No call from the number 20 yet again. And he knocks Brian to the ground. Gavin now intercepting, gets it off to Joaquin. Joaquin with Nick. Nick now trying to create something. Puts the ball into space for Joaquin to run on, but a Weston defender is there. Goalkeeper playing it up the field.
Oh, it's magic.
Defender, and this is in the back of the net. And this is 2-0 South Florida. Brian with the strike. A surprising strike, but strike nonetheless, and then goes in the goal. I don't even know if he can believe it. And we have 2-0 South Florida.
Well, I cannot believe it, I'll tell you that much. But look at this. The keeper plays it up. I don't know what the defender was doing, but he lets it run, and it runs right to Brian's left foot, and he just places it into the back of the net. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, I'm going to be watching that and reliving it all night long. That was great. Now they're up 2-0. This is amazing. It changes the whole game.
Well, Weston have to be stunned at home with the start that they had, several shots on goal, just freak misses, some of them. And now to be down 2-0 with about 10 minutes left in this half, they just have to be shocked. There's no other word to describe it. Because to have the start that they had and then be behind 2-0, the coach just has to be searching as to what is going on here. Now, they had some bad luck. They lost their starting keeper. That is, a lot. That hurts a lot of teams. That would hurt us because we have no other keeper on the bench. But to lose your starting keeper and then go down another goal, oh, man. As South Florida fights to try to get this ball, it's going to be called for an offsides on Joaquin.
Yes, he's just a wee bit offsides, just by a hair. Not by much. Look at that. You can see it right there. Maybe a foot behind the defender. Not much you can do about that.
Well, free kick for Weston. We've got about maybe 5 minutes left to go here in the half. As this ball is up for grabs, Weston able to maintain it. Weston playing it back. Now trying to work their own left side. Long ball into the middle, headed down by Adon. Joaquin trying to play it over to Brian, can't do it. Now Weston back in the attack. Matthew playing it to Julian. Julian up to Joaquin. Joaquin with some space to run here. Elects to try to cross it. Still holds on to the ball. Plays it over to Brian. Brian trying to get up to Nick. Joaquin still in path of it, but he gets blocked off by number 2 of Weston. And the ball's going back up the field towards the South Florida goal. Weston still in possession, although I don't know how. And we're going to have a whistle on that play.
Well, I have to do a better job of containing myself. I feel like I am. And I see that foul there, and that just makes no sense. Number 6 and number 20 have been committing fouls through this game. I think the referee needs to issue some yellow cards or this is going to get out of hand, because the team behind is a frustrated team. And a frustrated team starts doing things that are a little risky and a little dangerous. But I'm hoping that he keeps a lid on this game, because I don't want to see any other players getting hurt. But good call by the referee there.
All right, Weston, again, back on the attack here as they're trying to find a gap here in the South Florida armor. As number 20 goes on a nice little trot there, this ball parried away. But Weston still maintained control and are starting to work the middle of the field. Now back over to the left side. Gavin coming over to cover. And Gavin able to play that ball out. All right, Weston throw in. Matthew harassing the Weston player here. Weston still in possession. Play the ball at the top of the box. Will they take a shot? They do. This one straight at Colton, and who just falls on it wisely. So far, none of the Weston shots really at danger to the goal. Most of it either been right at Colton or considerably over or to the side. So nothing really that I would call dangerous. I mean, obviously any shot on goal is dangerous. However, when you're shooting right at Colton, there is a 99.9% chance he is going to come down with it, as he has throughout this game. Weston moving the ball down the right side, played out by Jaden. Another Weston throw. Number 20 playing it back. Joaquin to apply pressure, can't come away with it. Weston again playing it back to their center backs. Weston now playing it long to the middle of the field. Dealt with, but still in possession is Weston. Weston again playing it back. Working it to the sides. Down 2-0, still patient. That's how you're supposed to play it. You can't play it panicked, and you can't just start all of a sudden running at goal. As Colton comes out quickly to recover that one. Threat to the goal that it was.
That was a good come out by Colton, because that was definitely in the box, and if it had landed, they may have had a chance to put that on goal. So that was well played by the goalie to come out and tackle that one when it can.
Well, another errant pass results in a turnover. Weston, again, in South Florida territory. Can they put one in the goal? That's got to be their game plan, is at least get one back on the board before they enter halftime, which is quickly approaching, and try to get themselves relatively back in this game. At least a little bit of a moral support, I guess you could call it, or a little bit of an initiative. This ball into the box. Colton grabs it, as there was really no threat there. And he is going to slow things down a bit, as he should. And he urges his players to move forward. He may have the first punt of the game from Colton. Punts it over to the left side. Headed down by the big Weston center back. Put back up the field by Julian. Mora plays it into the box for Nick to run on. And this, Nick able to get a piece of it. Both players go down in the box. Nick's still in possession, trying to make something happen on the line and can't do it. And it's going to be a Weston goal kick. Weston playing it short now to the right. Now long ball up the field. Jaden there. Mora trying to get control of this ball. Able to shield it so Jaden can get there, and it's going to be a foul.
Well, these two have been battling it out all game, and it's number 20 who is suspect on this one for sure. As you can see, Mora using his body wisely, and you can see number 20's hands all over him. And Mora does the wise thing and goes to ground, earning the foul.
Well, Idan now on the free kick, looking to put this into the box. And he does, but right to the keeper as he catches it and runs to the top of his box. Punt by Weston, looking to capitalize on the number of blue jerseys forward. Number 11 comes down with it from Weston. Gets it off quickly. This ball's back into the box, and Colton again there to pick it up. And he has got something to say for his defenders as he's taking his time to come up from that one.
I think he's saying something to the referee about the contact from that big striker Weston colliding into him as he went to the ground to get that ball, which is a good argument.
I did not see that in the first day. We'll have to take another look at that in the replay, which we will do right now.
Right, well, you're going to see another ball, early ball from Weston, as they're trying to get players into this box here. You see Matthew between the two defenders. He sees the number 5. He knows Colton's going to get there, but right there, you see he makes contact with his ankle. And Colton is hopping mad about it, and I don't blame him. You don't want to have your goalie injured when you only got one.
Well, that will do it. That is halftime. South Florida Football Academy leading 2-0 here in Weston, Florida. Weston has got to be shocked having this team come onto their home turf and just going up 2-0 in that amount of time after the amount of pressure that they put on this team, the number of shots that they've had. Who would have thought that would be the outcome? What do you think is going on the bench right now?
Well, if you're asking me what's going on the South Florida bench, I can tell you it's only a few things. It's elation, it's excitement, and it's just a great feeling amongst the players and the coaches there because they got to be happy being up 2-0. Even with the errant passes and the nervy play at the back, they still have gotten the job done and they've capitalized on their chances, which is something that Weston hasn't done. Now, if you ask me what's going on the Weston bench, well, I can tell you, it's not a very pretty sight. That coach has got to be hopping mad about the performance of his players, not only with their shots, but with their decision-making in the backfield. There's 2 plays there, a penalty and an errant pass, that have cost them 2 goals in this game. So that coach has got to be sitting them down, much like Coach Jordan's doing, and saying to them, what are you doing? You got to be more smart out there. You have to play better. Now, what Coach Jordan's got to prepare these lads for is the onslaught of attacks from Weston that are going to come after this halftime. And believe me, they're going to come because this isn't a team that's going to quit. So South Florida has to really dig deep in this second half to maintain this lead and to secure the win. So we will see what happens when we return.
Do you want to see some really great photos of soccer games and wildlife? Head on over to M_J_Beard at Instagram, and you will see some of the most amazing photos you will ever see, and it'll be hard to believe they were taken with a camera and not just being seen in real life. These are some amazing photos, and I strongly encourage you to head on over to M_J_Beard to take a look at these great shots while you can. Well, here we go. Second half already underway. Weston in possession of the ball. Let's see what kind of changes they're going to make. Already made some personnel changes as they switched out their left winger. And we'll see what they decide to do. They're obviously going to go a little bit slower than normal, as they are a patient team, as we mentioned before. But I think that they're going to come out with a much more robust attack once the opportunity comes. And we'll see what happens here. Long ball. Down the left side, already looking for that number 17 who just came into the game. And he generates a shot on goal early, but really no threat as Colton again lands on it. That's going to be a player to watch as this game continues. Obviously, they made that switch for a reason. As Colton rolls this ball out to Idan. Again, full press from Weston, but a little bit more than a full press. Oh no, ball in the middle, shot, deflected. Weston looking for a handball. Colton still in possession of the ball. The ball did not go out of bounds. No calls from the referee, and Colton's going to pick that one up. Well, already not looking good here in the first minute of this game. Weston's already generated 2 shots on goal and intercepted a pass to the middle of the field. So not good As far as tactics-wise for South Florida, Coach Jordan can't be happy so far and what he's seeing as South Florida coming away with the ball but giving it right back. And this one going right back into the guts of South Florida's defense. As Mora trying to dribbling out of trouble there. He gets it taken away by number 20. 20 crossing it into the box. 17 is there again. Matthew able to clear it. Still into the box. Don there gets a foot to it. Mora kicks it to the Weston player. Weston back into number 17. Julian kicking it away. And then a shot way over the box. And this one's going to be into the lake in the back.
Well, there is already all kinds of trouble here that I can see. There's an pass. Leads to a shot. They're trying to say that there's a handball here. But you can see his arms are close to his body. Good call by the referee there. Not a handball. Then we're going to look at this cross here. Oh man, you got to be watching this guy. As Matthew able to clear that ball. But that 17 looks hungry, lads. He is looking to get on that ball. You can tell they got the plan to kick that ball into the box and trying to get it to that lad there coming in from the corner. Oh, this is going to be an epic battle here. For the rest of the game, South Florida is going to have to dig deep to try to come away with a win here.
Well, I think South Florida is just going to have to see if they can outlast them. As Weston throwing everything but the kitchen sink right now at South Florida. All their players are up the field. As Brian able to shoulder this one to, I think it was to Gavin. Gavin trying to get it up to Joaquin, can't do it. And Weston back in possession. South Florida not really going with a high press, trying to keep players back as John parries this one forward. Julian trying to kick it to Gavin. Everybody just seems to be popping the ball in the air. Matthew able to break that play up, but it only goes to a Weston player. Weston now switching the side. Playing it back in. Mora able to poke it out. Trying to get it to Nick. Nick collided into. He's still in possession. He gets pushed to the ground. No foul. And Weston on the attack again. This one's into the box. Number 20 on the ball. And it takes Idan to kick it out of bounds.
Couple of plays to look at here. And we'll take a look at this possession by Nick. As you can see, both him and the Weston player arrive at the ball. Nick gets a hold of it first. And as he tries to turn around him, the Weston player does get the ball there. Good call by the referee. And then there's this pass into the box, which is brilliant. Nidon coming over to cover, gets a foot to it, and prevents the shot. That could have been a score. For sure, it definitely wasn't going to go over the bar as we await this cross.
Corner taken by Weston and is deflected out for another corner. Different kicker this time. Weston plays this ball into the box, deep into the box. Colton gets a finger to it. Weston still in possession. South Florida careful not to foul anybody in the box. They don't want to give away a penalty. Nick able to poke that ball free, and the ball played down the line. There is no blue shirts there as everybody was defending on the corner. Ball back into the fray here. Gavin trying to defend. Nick now able to come away with the ball. He's got some players to pass to. I'm sorry, that was Brian. But Brian passes it through the middle, and there's only a Weston player there. Mora now chasing the ball. Ball played to number 20 again. Jaden is there. Idan again, cleaning it up. Kicking the ball out of bounds. Weston playing the ball across yet again. Finds their big number 9, who has a fancy flick to the back. And a kick to Colton. And Colton taking all the time necessary to pick this one up. And he rolls it out to Idan. Idan immediately under pressure plays it up to Mora. Mora playing it over to Jaden. Jaden trying to control it and dribble but can't do it. And Mora forced to kick it out for another Weston throw. Weston throwing it to the corner. Idan there yet again. Another throw. Weston again in their own corner. Trying to create something, and we're going to get an offside call.
Well, Coach Jordan better think of something quick because it's getting increasingly difficult for the South Florida players to get the ball out of their half, and they get the gift here with an offsides call, so hopefully they can relieve some pressure.
All right, well, Idan stands over the ball here. Looks to be looking over to his right side, plays a low pass into Gavin, who plays it up the field, but there's nobody there. Ball in the middle of the field again. Number 6 on the ball, plays it to another Western player up front. And they maintain possession. Looking again for the cross. Mora this time blocks it. Brian trying to flick it on to Joaquin. Can't find him. John stands in front of the kicker now. He's able to poke it free. He plays it across to Mora. He comes up with a little bit of a limp. He might have got stepped on there. Mora now back across to Julian. Julian playing it back to Idan. Idan under pressure. Plays it through the middle of the field. Weston player deflects it. And we got trouble once again. Idan chasing after this ball. So is Jaden. Idan again on the ball. Trying to play to the corner. Tries to play it off the Weston player. Can't do it. They maintain possession. Idan back on it now. And, looks like there's going to be another foul call here against number 20.
You're right, and that is at least the third foul called against number 20 for hands to the player. You can see there he's grabbing at Idan's face. That's clearly a yellow card. I don't know what the referee is doing. He must not be keeping track of how many fouls these players have got, because he's clearly in the yellow at this point.
Idan trying to play this ball long and ends up going back to the Weston player. Weston, again, nice little moves there from the number 6. Maintains possession, plays it into the number 20. 20 looking for a cross again, goes off the back of Idan. Jaden now on the ball. Jaden trying to find somebody, gets it to Joaquin. Joaquin playing it across to Gavin. Gavin having a hard time with that pass. And Weston, with the number of shirts that they have, are able to maintain it once again. Now, you folks at home may be wondering, why is South Florida not playing it long? Why are they continuing to try to find these passes? And the simple answer is that if they can find the passes, if they can find that key pass to break open this Weston defense, then there's not really many defenders there to prevent them from scoring another goal. So it's advantageous for South Florida to continue to try to pass their way out of this in order to get an opportunity to score another goal and really put this game out of reach. But the difficult thing is now, as another shot goes by, now is they have to try to prevent Weston with all their numbers forward from scoring a goal. So it's sort of a gamble. We'll see how it turns out as Weston takes this one short. They play it in through, and Colton's there to pick this one up. I think what Coach Jordan's trying to do is put his boys against Weston and see who comes out on top, at least in this type of strategy.
Well, you're kind of right. I'm sure Coach Jordan has all the confidence in these lads because, hey, they're up 2-0. Why not try to pass your way through and put in another one into the back of the net? And it looks like it's starting to pay off here. Until that happened. They put some nice passes together, and unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize. But here comes Weston now. Now will Weston put in one? Don Perry's it away. Good lad.
Weston still in possession, though, playing this ball into the middle. 20 again, puts it in. Oh, wow. I thought that was going in the back of the net, and it just went wide.
Some people might say that this is luck, but I think this is good positioning by the goalie. He puts himself in an area where the player has to try to put it around him, and he puts it wide of the goal as a result of where Colton had placed himself to prevent the goal. A good job by the goalkeeper, and he's having a fantastic game today.
Ball headed forward by Mora. Mora's still trying to fight and win this ball. It goes down to the ground. No foul called. 20, again, no foul called there, which I think was a good call by the referee. But number 6 from Weston now back in possession. Pass into the middle. 19, surprised he didn't take a shot there. Gets it off for the cross. Cross across the middle, chested down, and it's in the back of the net. Oh, man. What happened there?
Well, I think it's just from the sheer numbers that they had in the box. It was going to happen sooner or later. The cross comes in. Matthew can't get the position here, and the 17 gets a chest to it. I don't even think he kicked the ball in. I think it just fell in the right place at the right time, and it found the back of the net. We'll see what South Florida does here, but they have to be worried now. They have to play smart and try to maintain possession and find their way out of the back of the field. And that was a good pass there. Let's hope that they can do more of that and relieve some of this pressure off the goalie.
Well, Jaden coming up here to win this ball. Him and Brian working together. Weston back on it. Weston playing across to a wide open number 20. 20 plays it into the box. Nobody is there, right to Colton. Nick calling for the ball. He's got nobody around him. Wins it. But number 6 there. He wins it back for Weston. Weston now moving back into a dangerous area. John able to block that shot. Another shot. And this one's over the goal. Oh, man. All right, Colton now playing it short again. Plays over to Gavin. Gavin with a miscue in the pass. Weston taking back possession. Playing it across to the middle of the field. Mora there to break up the pass. Number 6 still in possession. This number 6 with the ball is very dangerous. Mora having to kick it out for a corner. Weston playing it somewhat short to their number 19. 19 flops on the ground, and he's going to win a foul.
Well, I can tell you that this is minimum contact from Mora. He's trying to win the ball. The Weston player runs into him. He had stopped in his tracks, and the referee calls a foul. Don't know what else I can say about that without getting pulled off the air.
Well, Weston stands over the ball here with a very close free kick. The referee has backed them up a considerable distance from this ball. As Colton tries to get them lined up, asking for 3 players in the wall here. Clearly threat to goal. Played long, over the top of the goal. I think Colton would have been able to save it even if it was on goal. Colton now with the free kick. Plays it long. Flicked on to Brian. Brian trying to win the ball. Nick able to chest it down, but then has it kicked away by a Weston player. Matthew pokes it free to Brian. Brian can't win it. Matthew now back on the chase for it. Brian in number 17. Ball into the box. Shot. Blocked by Edon. Nick able to clear it. Brian now battling it out, trying to win possession, and I believe he does in the form of a throw. Matthew throws the ball down the field to Brian. Brian still in possession. Ball still in play. Gavin gets a foot to it. And Weston playing it back to their keeper. We are about 53 minutes into this game. Weston still in control. Weston up the field. They've got 17. Matthew trying to give chase. Matthew with a slide tackle. 17 still maintains possession. Mora there to get it. Mora playing it into space. Again, another nice touch from Mora. Gets it off to Gavin. Gavin playing it up to Brian. Brian looking for someone. Can he get it across the field? He can't do it. That was a 50-50 ball. And it goes for South Florida. Matthew playing it back to John. John playing it back to Colton. Colton forced to kick it long. And it's going to fall for Weston. Weston playing it into the middle of the box. Fake shot. Number 9 shoots again right at Colton. And Colton laying on it, trying to waste as much time as possible. Colton's now up on his feet. And this is wise from him, playing and taking his time. Punts it long. Brian trying to win the ball, can't do it. Matthew now in front of 17 once again. Matthew trying to keep 17 off the ball. Takes a little knock. Ball's in the air. Julian there to head it forward. Now Nick trying to win it. Nick comes away with it. Nick playing it to just, nobody is there unfortunately. I think all the blue shirts are just exhausted at this point from defending. Ball played over to Jaden. Jaden to Mora. Mora now up the field. Into space. It's a good ball. Joaquin trying to give chase to it as this ball is played back to the keeper. Keeper, just gets it off to his defender. Brian now trying to come up. South Florida now trying to full press. As Weston is able to pass out of the back, as South Florida players retreat back to their positions. Ball played across the field into John. John playing to Julian. South Florida with a little bit more space here. Nick to Mora. Mora with a little bit of time. Mora trying to do a dribble, can't do it. 3 Weston shirts in front of him. Weston escape once again. Weston now going up the field. Play it to number 19. Ball into the right side of the field. They cross it. Matthew is there. Matthew trying to poke it free, and I think he gets a deflection on it, and it lands to Colton, who drops down and covers it up.
Well, Weston is starting to get tired here from all the pressing. You're starting to see a little bit more of gaps here for South Florida to create passes into. So it is starting to wear out these Western players, so you'll start to see South Florida have a little bit more possession as a result.
Well, Weston now back on the ball here as Brian is harassing that back line of Weston. Back to their keeper. Keeper over to the right side. Weston operating a little bit more of their own half here. And they play this ball long down the field. John gets ahead to it. And, oh, that was an interesting shot. But it was well wide of the goal. But Cole, looks like it took a deflection.
It did. Colton does wise here. You can see he's backtracking. And he gets able to get back far enough because the Western player was trying to play it over his head. And he able to get a fingertip to it and deflect it out for the corner.
Well, things are starting to get dicey here. As here comes the corner. Header. And Colton able to grab it. It comes out of the goal. Well, shot after shot after shot has come towards the South Florida goal. We've had one already. It's definitely a lot to a little. South Florida able to capitalize more on their shots, but have had very few. Whereas Weston have had many. And just their conversion rate is pretty much in the dumps. But Weston in clear control of this game right now as they continue to push people forward. There's John with a nice little slide tackle. And going to win, they're not going to win it. They got a corner.
Well, we'll take another look here, but I think, yep, it looks like the Western player touched it last. And you know how this day has been going. Unfortunately, the calls haven't really been going our way. But I can't really blame the goalie, the referee on that one because it was very close.
All right, Weston on the corner, playing into the middle. Their big center back gets ahead to it, but not on goal. Plays back in, and their center back gets a foot to it this time, but it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a goal kick. Colton plays it long up the center of the field, over the head of number 20, back in by another Weston player, and there they are, right back in front of goal once again. Matthew able to deflect that one away. Julian deflecting that one up to Mora. Mora with the ball, plays a nice diagonal ball into space. Just no blue shirts there to get on it. And the keeper for Weston plays it out to the left side, and it comes back towards the keeper. South Florida applying some pressure here. It could be effective, but Weston able to get out. Now Gavin applying some pressure here. Weston playing to the middle of the field. Another ball up the field. Edon able to get that one down. Mora giving chase on this ball as well as Nick. And they're able to poke it free. Nick going after this one. He gets pulled down. And there's the whistle. And it goes against South Florida. Weston takes it quickly. Weston now back on the ball. Playing it into the middle. They're getting another opportunity for a shot here. They play that one up into Jaden's arm. They were asking for a handball. I don't think they should get that one at all. And Edon's going to run this one up the field. Edon plays it into space. No blue shirt there. Tries to win it back. You can see he is exhausted. As South Florida defending for their lives here. And they win a throw.
Well, I want to take another look at this because you can see Nick is fighting for this ball. And that wasn't a foul, so he can't go back on that. And then he's getting pulled back there. How is he committing the foul? Now again, the referee is looking at it from a different angle, so maybe he sees something different from me. But all I saw was a Western player pulling on his arm, preventing him from getting to the ball. So I don't know how he gets the foul called there.
Well, another great mystery that will more than likely not be known. As John's defending this ball. Ball comes into the box. He down with the slide tackle. Oh, yeah, he got a piece of him. Oh boy, it is a penalty.
Well, as you mentioned before, Edon is doing everything he can out there. And sometimes fatigue gets the best of you. He goes in there for the slide tackle. And he does get the piece of the player. There's no denying it. I know he's got his hands up as if he didn't do it. But it's clearly a penalty.
Weston with the penalty. Oh, Colton guessed right. He just couldn't get there. And it's going to be 2-2. Weston and South Florida all tied up here. As we take another look. Cole May even got a little finger to that ball. as it ended up into the side netting, which is unusual on a penalty. But nevertheless, it's in the back of the net, and now South Florida having to work themselves out of a hole. You have Nico has checked in. He's taking the place of, it looks like, Gavin. And Nick now on the ball, trying to make something happen, plays it up to Mora. Mora with the ball, going to the corner. Managed to keep it in. He's got to win a throw there. He does not. Throw for Weston. As Joaquin comes over to apply some pressure. Jaden gets a foot to that one and plays to Idon. Idon over to Julian. Julian now trying to make something happen here. Nick on the ball. Nick picks his head up. Spots Martin on the run. Martin gets a foot to it. Oh. And it just goes wide of the goal.
Well, I gotta tell you, that is a difficult shot right in front of the goal. Beautiful ball from Nick. Spots Martin on the run. And look at that right in front of the goal. Oh, he's going to regret that one. That would have given them the lead. But what a good run by Martin. And a beautiful ball by Nick. If they can do that one more time, they'll have it.
Weston now back in possession. Looking for their players. South Florida appears to be a little bit more re-energized as a result of that recent play. And the field looks to be a little bit more open now, as Weston trying to find passes. And they give that one away easily to Jaden. Jaden plays it up to Mora. Mora now giving chase. Mora trying to win that ball. That may have been a foul. No call. Weston continues to move forward. This ball played up the field. Nick trying to come over and win it. Martin on it now. Martin giving chase. Ball played over to the left side of Weston. Martin now in front of the big number 17. Weston still moving this ball. Able to get out of the pressure. They play the ball through. Idon is there. Idon plays it up. Weston's going to maintain possession. Matthew letting the striker know that he's there. And Weston playing this ball into touch. All right, Matthew again on the throw. Throws it up the field, into space. No blue shirts there. And the center back plays it back to his goalie. Weston goalie on the ball. Plays it up through the middle. Jaden there. This time plays it short to Nico. Nico trying to get it through. Can't find him. But Idon's there. He picks it up. Plays it off to Julian. Julian with a nice touch to Nick. Nick in on goal. Can he get there? Oh, he still got the ball alive. Weston able to retrieve it and play it out of the box. Wow, that was a heartbeat away from another goal for South Florida. As Weston now back on the attack here. South Florida's got a number of jerseys back. Oh, 20 flicks that one on, but it looks like it's going to be called for offsides.
Right, you are. Definitely an offsides call, but let's look at this one more time as Idon plays this one out to Julian. Julian with a nice little flick, and it puts the ball right into the path of Nick. And right there, the goalie comes out and reacts. He gets a finger to it. Bet you Nick wishes he had that one back. He probably would have pulled the trigger sooner on that one. But here's this ball. You can see number 20 offsides. He's on the other side of Jaden. And good call by the referee. Smart eye on that lad on the left. They'll call that one for offsides.
John on the free kick. Plays it short to Nico. Nico with a miscue on the pass. Oh no, this is trouble. Oh man. Wide of the goal. Number 9 for Weston. Oh man, if that just cost them a win, I don't know. You might want to check on him later tonight. As this ball played right to him. Nico trying to play this ball out to Don, just couldn't get it there. And maybe his slight comeback there maybe intervened on that number 9 shot selection as he went to the left instead of the right and put that well wide of the goal. Colton kicking it short, lands again in front of Weston, right in front of goal. John hustling back, so is Jaden. Jaden able to clear that ball up to Mora. Mora with the flick, trying to move it past the number 20. Can't do it. They're in another battle. And the number 20 kicks his ball out and he ends up winning a foul.
Well, right now there is an award for who is using their hands the most in the game. And surprisingly, it's not the goalkeepers. It's between Mora and number 20 of Weston. As you can see there, Mora does get a fistful of the jersey. But it's good physical play and I encourage it as long as it's not at the risk of anyone being injured. So, good play by Mora to hold up that Weston player.
All right, John having to step up there, kick that ball long. Weston still in control. The number 6, who's been moving this ball all day with a nice little flick there, puts it into the path of his striker. Don able to clear it. And this ball is free. Martin now on it. Martin flicking it upwards, but takes a slip. And Weston's going to maintain control again. Weston playing the ball out to the left side, their own left side. And the number 17 getting back on the ball. Don there to defend. Matthew covering. John able to pass this ball out. Gets it to Don. Don to Matthew. Matthew up to Julian. Julian trying to control it. Can't do it. Looked like a foul there. No call. Weston maintains possession. Weston now looking for the cross. They get it off. Header. Oh, off the post. Oh, boy.
I'll tell you right now, there's about 40 parents on the sidelines. None of them are going to go to the bathroom. As you can see here. Julian, that's clearly a foul. No call. But look at this cross. Right under the head of number 20. And he gets a wicked header on the ball. And man, I tell you, I can't believe that's not in the back of the net. He just gets unlucky there and strikes the post. This is a nail-biter of an event, folks. This is what you pay money to see. And it's all for free for the people that come to this game or watching it right now. You don't have to pay a thing.
Well, Weston again back on the ball. Number 5 tries to cut it inside. Jaden is there. Mora now. Nice little turn. Got his head up. Puts the ball down the right side. Down the left side of South Florida's. But Weston player is there to intercept. Ball to the middle. Martin giving chase. Weston player gives it away. Matthew now passing the ball up the field. Oh, Joaquin just can't get something done with it. Or I'm sorry, Martin can't get something done with it. And the ball's back to the goalie. Goalie plays it out to the Weston right side. Nick applies some pressure, wins a throw. Mora now, looking for someone to throw into. Finds Joaquin. Joaquin under pressure. Passes it off to Mora. Mora with a nice little flick. Wins a foul there. Finally, it'll be a free kick for South Florida.
Well, I'm glad you said finally there, because there's been 2 or 3 that haven't been called, and it finally gets called there. I don't think you had the choice in the matter. And we'll see what happens with this free kick.
Nick is on the ball. I'm sure he's looking to put this one in the box. It's a good kick. Oh, Don was there. And much like with Martin, right in front of the goal, just couldn't get a foot to it.
Yeah, right. He couldn't get the foot to it. He got the right idea, though. He's attacking the ball. I think he was thinking it was going to come down lower. He tried to strike it with his foot there. That would have been in the back of the net if he just made the connection. But that's the way it goes sometimes.
Well, overall, better attacking from South Florida. Some of the much-needed subs have made a little bit of the difference here, as there's been a little bit more energy now in the field, as Martin's applying pressure here. And there's a little bit of hands there. As 17 again is just wading his way through this defense, but kicks the ball out for a South Florida throw. Coach Jordan making some changes to the overall lineup here. Tiago has checked in. Matthew has moved to the 6th position. Jaden's moved over to the right side of the field. And we'll see how this goes, as Tiago's giving chase to this ball as well as Martin. Can they come away with it here? They do not, unfortunately. Weston throw. Down the line. Martin there to block it. And it's going to result in another Weston throw. No giving up yet for South Florida. As Nico trying to hold off the player here. Matthew able to parry it away. And South Florida's going to win a throw. Jaden now with the long throw. And can they win it? No, they cannot. Back down the line. Matthew trying to get there, can't do it. Weston now going forward. They've got players. Don is there. Don playing it back to the keeper. Colton calmly passes it back to Don. Don to Matthew. Matthew to Jaden. Jaden now trying to win it down the line. Can't do it. And it's going to be another throw. But this time for Weston. Throwing it into the box. South Florida careful not to commit a foul there as John kicks this one out. Finds Martin. Martin fighting off two defenders, gets it off to Nico. Nico plays the ball long and into a path for Nick to run onto. Weston keeper way out of the box to collect that one.
Oh, there
Martin
it
pokes
is.
it free. It's on Nick's foot. Nick takes
That's
a shot.
it.
It's in the goal.
Ah!
It's in the goal. South
can't
Florida's
believe it.
taking the lead here. They are. It's just unbelievable.
Unbelievable is
South
right.
Florida leads this game 3-2. There's not much time left here, ladies and gentlemen. The Weston fans
Oh
can't
my
believe
goodness,
it.
I can't
They
believe
are
we just
shocked.
saw that.
Unbelievable goal by Nick. What a steal
That's just
from
magic.
Martin to poke that ball free. I can't believe the Weston keeper was that far out of his box. Can you believe this, Jeff?
I'm still trying to make sense of it all. That was just amazing. Amazing play there, and we're going to take another look. As you can see, the keeper way out of his box here, and he plays it smartly to his defender. His defender just took a little too many touches with the ball. Martin able to poke it free. What a substitute that was. And then Nick just placing this ball like a grain of sand on the head of a needle and puts it right there in the back of the net. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's 3-2 here in Weston. They come to Weston and they're going to win this game. They got to be over the moon.
Well, Weston was quick to get back on the ball here as this ball takes a deflection off Matthews' back. Weston throwing it in, going for the box. Jaden there to head it away. Coach Jordan has gone to a 5 in the back here to protect this lead. And Weston in no rush here. Surprisingly, there cannot be much time left here. Probably just minutes. As Jaden now has this ball and he's going on a long run up the right side of the field. Sliding tackle by the Weston player to recover. And Jaden going to have to hustle here to get back. I did not mention this before, but Matthew, number 40, has checked into the game at left back. As Don clears this one with some authority. Nick giving chase, again the Weston keeper out of his box to clear it. This ball is going to land somewhere in the middle of the field. Fortunately, Nico at a height disadvantage here. And this ball is played back into the fray. Martin now on the ball. Martin passing back to Matthew. Matthew playing it long. Headed back in by the Weston center back. Edon there to get it loose. Weston now back on the ball. And Matthew there again. And he plays it out of the area. Nick in a fight here. He's trying to win this ball back, doing everything he can. The big center back for Weston plays it into the middle. Weston finding feet. This is trouble. Looking to cross it in. Matthew is there. Matthew harassing the number 6. He goes to the line. He crosses it.
Oh no.
Deflection.
Get it out.
Shot.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh.
No.
that's
Weston has tied this up. And what
is some
has to be
bad
the
luck
last
there.
minute of this game, there is no referee, there's no calls here.
No,
This
it's
is
a
a clean play.
It was a clean play. This was just very determined action here by the number 6, who's been very good for Weston today. And a nice little deflection there, and it just lands in the path of the number 9. He didn't even pick up his head. He just kicked it to the corner. And it's just heartbreak. Heartbreak for these South Florida players that have tried so hard today. Oh, your heart just drops for them. Unbelievable.
Well, unbelievable seems to be the word that has come up the most during this game. And if that's not a testament to how these players have played today, I mean, this is the level of play that you get with MLS Next. Back and forth action, just nonstop, as Weston continues to try to go through here, try to win this game. And will they do it? Nico parries that one away. Jaden comes and gets a foot to that ball. Shot! And it's over the bar. And it's going to be a goal kick for South Florida. This ball goes out to the left side, right to Weston player. Oh! Mora and Matthew collide here. As Weston still here. This could be trouble. Deja vu. And this ball goes well wide of the goal, and the referee has called it. This game will end in a tie, 3-3.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. This is the type of game that you're going to get with MLS Next level play. Equally matched teams battling it out to see who's the winner, and you're never going to see better action than what you saw here today in any kind of match. These players are exhausted. They're just, look at them. They look like zombies on the field, and that's because of the effort that they put into the game. This is where you're going to see it, is MLS Next. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that these players leave this field with their head held high. Yes, South Florida let it slip away, but they let it slip away to a team that's one of the best in the country at producing soccer talent, and they stuck with them all the way, step by step. And Coach Jordan, he needs to be proud of himself and the way that these boys played today, because yes, it didn't end in a win, but they were still competitive and they still capitalized on their chances. South Florida maybe had 4 shots on goal and 3 of them went in. That's fantastic.
Well, Mad About Soccer is proud of this South Florida football team and proud of the boys that played here today, as well as Coach Jordan on his first game coaching the MLS Next team without assistance. Just can't say it enough here. Unbelievable. And if you like this level of play and you like seeing these games, we encourage you to subscribe and watch all the games that we're going to be bringing to you today. This will do it for us at Mad About Soccer. Again, we hope you enjoyed. We hope that you come back and join us again for their next game against Tampa Bay United at home at Loggers Run Park, where we'll bring you all the highlights, we'll bring you all the action, and we hope that you join us for that one, as I'm sure it'll be much like this one, pulse-pounding action from start to finish. Thank you. Don't forget to visit our sponsor, Techie Apparel. Techie Apparel, located at Etsy.com, for your unique soccer needs, whether they be t-shirts or cleats. Techie Apparel has them both, and they can do designs to your liking if you just hit them a message through Etsy. New to the store are Venom cleats. These unique cleats are one of a kind. They are available right now at the Etsy store of Techie Apparel. If you want to take a look, just go ahead on over there and you can see the pictures and ask questions as needed. But also available are Joker cleats. These are also one of a kind, not mass produced. You'll be the only one on the field to have them. If you want to take a look, head on over to Etsy.com for Techie Apparel. And that's Techhy Apparel. You won't be disappointed, and we hope you take a look at some of our fine products for you to purchase.
Yeah.